And I once again.
Oops. Oh, YouTube. Stay classy. There we go. That should fix it. There we go. Good look at that. Now to put up a tune or two. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ah, whoop. My fucking lord. There we go. There we go. What are the... Gotta get some lead all grounded up. All that fun shit. Oh my god, this stuff's so fucking sticky. Come on, just get it all in there. Goodness gracious. Alright, there we go. Let's get that all grounded up. Little doggle. Just a sweet little thing. Got played around with him a little bit earlier today and got him out a bit. Played a little fetch with him and all that shit. Little big little fluff. I also have like a little doghouse I have outside that he doesn't really use often. I think it just might be because where it's set up, so I moved it. Set up near the porch, and I still don't think he wants anything to do with it. Doggo. A doggo. Sweet little thing. You like being in tiny little caves, but you don't like the little doggo house that you've had since you're a little baby boy. Never bothered using it once. He's standed on top of it before. Like, he'll stand on top of it and all that, but not actually be in it. That's a little thing. Just so silly. Just a shitty doggo. You look like you're guilty of something. Even though there's no reason for you to be, because you've been with me the entire day so far. Just hanging out. Unless he did something while I was not looking. Just a sleepy little thing. Just the sweetest of sweet boys. Now it's just getting sleepy. Went from looking guilty to sleepy. Alright. Burning myself before I even burned the bowl. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, this weed is like... Did they dry this out at all before harvesting it? Cannot burn this shit to save my life. I need like an actual like torch. I need to get one of those again. I used to have one of those bad boys. Yeah, it's not really dry enough. That bowl like straight up like inflated. Ooh. But dude, that shit just straight inflated. Still some moisture in that. Something about bud sometimes, like sometimes it's kind of a gamble whether it's like too dry or not dry enough. There's a balance with it. And unfortunately, there's not the balance. But I still have a whole ounce of this shit to go through. So, stuck with it. I'm just leaving it open just so it hopefully airs it out a little bit, and hopefully this stuff gets dried a little bit. It's being exposed in the air. Because, good lord, it's like the stickiest, like, moist bud I've had in a long time. What was harvested? That might explain it. That explains it. It was harvested November of last year, of 23. That would explain it. It's fresh. That would explain all that. And goodness gracious. Oh shit, the road to that gauntlet. Oh yeah, the gauntlet's today. Fucking 6 hour, like, Roseanne Barr, fucking Rob Schneider, Andrew Tate gauntlet. Oh, I don't know if I can handle that. A quadfecta of just unadulterated cringe for... Not a quadfecta, a trifecta. Well, there might be a quadfecta. There's gonna be some other motherfucker probably woved in there somehow. Brought up. Actually, there is going to be a quadfecta at least, just because there's going to be, like, other motherfuckers, like, oh, you know, it's like, here's our guest, Andrew Tate, like, you know, fucking, like, what's his face, fucking Pierce Morgan or some shit fucking on there. Ugh. I can't really, like, fuck on Pierce too much anymore, because of, like, him, you know, like, at least putting on, like, a lot of decent, like, pro-Palestinian voices up and shit, and actually is... changed his position since the 7th of October and shit from today. He actually has changed his like position from that at this point. I think a lot of that's just because of the constant like having people on and shit. The weird rare moment where he actually gets a redemption point. Which, you know, you're fucked up when Piers Morgan's somehow in the right. You know you've done fucked up if that's the case. let's see. Man, outside of that absurd gauntlet too, maybe or maybe not look forward to later. What other little absurd bullshit be going down? What other little things happening on this fine Tuesday? Well, at least somewhat of a fine Tuesday. What? Oh, there do be shopping. This Trump rally broke Kyle. Oh my god. MAGA rally interview finally breaks Kyle. I mean, some of these have already broken me. So, like, how bad is it for Kyle to get broken on this? What? I love the thumbnail of the dude, too. It's like some MAGA hat, but it's not your typical one. It says, like, Trump caucus captain on it, in gold, too. Ew. Oh, boy. It's such a grift that they even have, like, little specialty hats for, like, caucus captains, I guess. I guess that's a thing. Wow. It's like such a snake oil salesman's grift that they literally sell merch for every little fucking element of the whole, like, MAGA cult. Like, holy shit. I can't be that surprised, honestly. I mean, because, like, it seems like every month there's always, like, some weird, like, major thing that kind of comes out of, like, oh, here's, like, some dumb shit Trump's trying to sell that, like, covers, like, legal fees and stuff. Because I know the suit that he got his mugshot in, he, like, pretty much ripped a bunch of it apart, you know, just to sell it for, like, thousands and thousands of dollars for, like, this much of fabric. Like, literally just, like, it, like, you know, a square piece of fabric from his suit. It's... I mean, that, honestly, to me is shocking. It's like, I mean, in a sense, I mean, not really, but it really is at least shocking to an extent of just, like, he's willing to go so hard on trying to, like, you know, sell people on his fucking image. He's willing to, like, rip one of his fucking suits. Which, you know, Trump, you know, is a man who has this shit specially, like, you know, tailored to him and shit. Well, about as best you can, I guess. And just fucking, you know, like, is willing to part ways with one of his suits just so he could sell it. It's like, I feel like it had to take some convincing from that, you know, from that motherfucker to do that. To have self-esteem as you get into fights with people who are weaker than you. Not to boost my ego more than it's just quadriplegic. Damn. I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of like how the totem pole of ego works, doesn't it? This thumbnail for this video also has, like, a pony, like a baby horse. Like, as, like, so I'm really nervous about what this might be. And also, this guy looks like this dude in the thumbnail, bro. I mean, look at him. Dude, he looks fucking, like, deathly ill or something. Like, I mean, like, he's, like, on something or some shit. Like, I mean, I only look that pale if I'm sick or something. It's just like, dude.
You know, we talked a lot about this before, but back in 2015 and 2016, you could find some Republican Trump supporters who would say something that makes you go, interesting. Like, for example, Trump would hit Hillary on supporting NAFTA and outsourcing all the jobs. And
I'm curious on what he means by, interesting.
Would say,
looks like he drinks blood. Probably because he does. He does look like a vampire, bro.
I'm a Republican that won't cut your Social Security. I won't cut it. I won't cut it. And so there was this weird thing that was happening where you had, in some instances, 2 times former Obama voters who flipped and voted for Trump. And so it was a very, like, different landscape back then. Yes, there were plenty of people who supported him because of his bigoted rhetoric, because of, like, the Muslim ban stuff, because of they're criminals, they're rapists. I assume some are good people. Plenty of people supported him for that. But there was also this other group of Trump voters, which was gettable, right? And they weren't, quote-unquote, deplorables, as Hillary would have referred to them. Well, guys, we're a long way from 2016, man. That was a long, long time ago.
I guess, you know, what he means by interesting is, like, someone who might be, like, that 2-time Obama voter that voted for Trump back in the day or some shit. Honestly, like, that era of Trump support isn't there anymore. Like, I mean, That died in 2016, I think. Like like back in the day, you could give a benefit of the doubt to like a Trump supporter, arguably. Like yeah, at least I think it could have been debatable back then in like 2015 to 16 era. But now it's like it's just no no, like it's like you would have to be legitimately at least like TFG to some extent, to just be like a little Trump supporter to this point. I mean, it's one of like I mean I guess there is the exception of just like the vote your party line no matter what people and shit, because you're always going to have that core demographic regardless whether they're Republican or Dem. So I mean, there's that too, but I mean they're not exactly like supporters of the person. They're more supporter of just voting party line, which that doesn't matter who it is. They just do that regardless. Like, which I don't know. I mean, to me that seems a little more, or at least just as culty-ish, as like the MAGA chuds. But that's just me.
And I hate to say it, but it's true. Now, all of the evidence of the current crop of Trump supporters, the people who are still with him at this late date, it's just terrifying. Every video I see is like, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? So I have a couple new examples for you. Let's start with this one. This is what people who go to a Trump rally these days, this is what they sound like.
What we're seeing is an awakening in this country and a returning to godly principles, godly morality. We have no more.
A guy that looks like a literal fucking vampire that drinks blood, like, should not be talking about this. I mean, excuse me? Going back to godly Christian values, blah, 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 blah. It's like, my dude, you realize that you look like a fucking vampire, right? Like, you look like a demon.
Tolerance is not a virtue in the Bible at all.
Wait, what?
We have no more tolerance. Tolerance is not a virtue in the Bible at all.
You never had tolerance in the first place. And yeah, I don't know if that's totally accurate. I'm pretty sure Jesus was out there kind of, Christ himself was, talking about tolerance and shit, so, I don't know about that, but okay. Like, I mean, is he like an Old Testament freak? Because, I mean, I guarantee you he probably is. And as soon as, I bet if you were to, like, point out some shit from the Old Testament, be like, oh, but we don't believe that, though. Or, and it's like, no, you do. It's just like, shut the fuck up. I mean, especially considering this, like, oh, we're not tolerant. It's like, bet you never were. Like, you motherfuckers are never tolerant. It's like, what, is your mind of being tolerant? It's just being like, we're getting me fun of, and I just have to just suck it up, I guess. Just be joke about it. It's like, is it that? Is that it? Because if so, then, yeah, keep doing that. That's better. That's better for everybody. Like, because, I mean, that's not like what tolerance is. It's just like, oh, well, I just want to be big and piece of shit, but no one wants to tolerate that. And I have to tolerate, the fact that they can't tolerate my shit. Boo. It's like, yeah, because that's kind of the whole point about tolerance, is that you tolerate intolerant bullshit. So, yeah, that would include you fucking vampire. You literal looking vampiric freak.
Tolerance is not a virtue in the Bible at all. So if you're not arguing for tolerance, you're arguing against tolerance. That means you're for
bigotry and intolerance and hatred for your fellow man and stuff like that. So, yeah, sounds like it really, it sounds very virtuous to uphold.
Intolerance. He's literally saying, like, I'm all about the Bible, and the Bible's really intolerant, so I want to be intolerant, and we should make society intolerant. Yes! Yeah!
Make it like Leviticus. Make it like Deuteronomy. We must bring back the ways of the old. Like, I mean, there is a really strong branch of these evangelical Christians that are pretty much just Leviticans, where they, just believe pretty much like in some parts of the Bible, but like really when it comes down to the brass tacks, they pretty much believe like 90% of the shit in Leviticus. Like the 10% is the fact that they mix cloth and fibers and shit like that. But beyond that, like, if they could, they'd get away with trying to uphold those fucking ideas. Even the fucking fabric thing. I bet if they really truly had, these evangelical freaks out their way, they probably would be like, oh no, we're gonna change it up so we use cotton instead. No polyesters and mixed fabrics now. Cotton and wool is all we will have. And you can't mix them.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm sure it means fuck gay people, no equal rights, no gay marriage, fuck trans people, fill in the blank with whatever here. I'm sure he's ruthlessly anti-abortion where he wants to punish the women who do it with either time behind bars or the death penalty, as some psychos in this country have been proposing in a bunch of red states these days. Jeez, we're 12 seconds in, and we already have that gem. Let's keep going.
Simply turned a blind eye to the convictions you once held. And that is going to be gone. We're not going to be tolerant of sin. We're not going to be tolerant of the woke agenda, of the radical left. And Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. That's very clear.
Yeah, but what about still being the 45th? Like, isn't to some of you fucking weirdos, he's still technically the 45th president? We don't have a 46th, so he can't be the 47th if we still don't have the... Like, so, I mean, like, I bet, like, if you were asking who's still the legitimate president, he'd probably say Trump. Which thus will apply that logic, but, no. I shouldn't really be trying to put logic into any of this.
If he were to lose again, what would that mean for the country?
He will not lose.
And with that weird fucking creepy smile of his, what are you implying, bud? So what are you implying there, buddy? What are you implying, Like, with that fucking smile and that creepy look that he has right there, it makes me think, like, oh, he won't lose, because I'm going to spill the blood of every woke goddamn communist in this country to do it. Like, I mean, he just has this creepy fucking, like, serial killer look on him, dude.
That also terrify you. The fact that Trump has already indicated, hey, I'm going to deny the results if I lose again.
I mean, he did this back in 2015, too, by the way.
He's already been saying stuff that, like, yeah, if I don't win, it's rigged, it's stolen, they cheated. In other words, total repeat of 2020. January 6th, the insurrection, the fraudulent electors, all that stuff. It's all coming back. And his own people are refusing to even theoretically and hypothetically engage with the idea, well, what if he doesn't win?
Which, honestly, just really... it's really showing that this election cycle is going to be fucking wild. I've already known that and kind of mentioned that before, but... Like, oh my god. Like, I mean, I think really at best, it's probably just going to look like a little repeat of 2020 and not much different. But I think at worst, it's certainly going to probably be a lot more violent.
You hear him? How are you supposed to get through to people like that? I genuinely don't know. How are you supposed to get through to people like this? I genuinely don't know. If he thinks
you don't.
Like, literally.
I mean, the only way you could really, get through him is with, like, an aspect to, like, mish around the frontal cortex a little bit. OG lobotomy style. That's probably really honest, unironically the only way you're probably gonna do it. Like, do, like, some OG 1950s era, like, nerve stapling shit or something.
It's impossible for my Emperor, Overlord, God King to lose. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? There's nothing you can do with it, and that's what's so terrifying.
Just Reconstruction. If they want to fucking, clap back about it, then let them clap back. I don't think it'll work that well. I mean, the more and more, as time goes on, the more I'm, like, really become more of a staunch, advocate of, Reconstruction at this point. I mean, if we're already kind of on this, like, veering on this, like, weird teeter-totter of, like, oh, Civil War question mark, then why not Reconstruction? Because, like, I mean, fuck, I'd rather not have the Civil War part. I'd rather skip that, not have that, and then just have the Reconstruction that came after that. Like back, like from previously. Like, just skip the Civil War part. Let's not have that part. So, yeah, like, I mean, I'd rather just be, doing Reconstruction because, frankly, that just seems like a way better positive outcome for the country in general. And it might be authoritative, and yeah, these especially type of people are going to be bitching, screaming, probably literally, like, going out guns blazing over it. But you know what? Fuck them at that point. It's like, I mean, they're a detriment to the progress of the fucking country, and it needs to be reconstructed. And if they want to, be buried, with the rest of the, like, fucking ancient mummified tomb relic fucking backwards racist bullshit, then let them. Like, it ain't my fucking problem.
Country has taken a radical shift towards the acceptance of really child mutilation. What's going on with the transgender thing? I mean, even in our school.
Just so you know, we went through.
And by the way, that doesn't happen. That literally never happens. Happens all the time at churches when it comes to circumcision and shit, but never happens when it comes to when it comes to trans people though. I'm into my vaccine as well. Just got my latest booster tonight. Nice. And yes, I agree with that as well.
The framework and the guidelines of what is acceptable vis-a-vis trans treatment in this country. And of course, there are literally no kids who get the surgery, who get bottom surgery or top surgery. You have to be, and it varies from place to place, but at least in your teens before you do like the hard medical interventions. That's just a fact. But this guy's drunk on dumb right-wing media bullshit where they think that like 4-year-olds are getting their dicks chopped off or whatever.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this guy's a Nazi too, just because, I mean, he's about as, like, he's whiter than the fresh snow that, falls in Alaska, basically. And I guarantee if you took that cap off of his head, it would literally be like this perfectly coiffed, blonde, like, Aryan Nazi-like haircut or some shit. Like, I mean, like, this kid looks like, the poster boy for, like, some masterly Aryan-looking fuck, on some German poster in World War II.
Jesus Christ.
Really child mutilation. What's going on with the transgender thing? I mean, even in
He looked like he would be, like, a background actor in, like, some, like, Nazi youth group fucking, scene or some shit in, like, some movie in, like, during the fall of Berlin or some shit, dude. Like, I mean, good lord. This guy couldn't look more of a Nazi if he tried. It was just a heroin, by the way. They put this burlap and water torture me. And then they pried my nails off until I said just saw when it was gone. And they gave me a shot and sent me on my way. Oh, shit, dude. Hope you make a full recovery.
That we have in our town, there are 2 girls that identify as horses, and our principal.
What? There's 2 girls at your school that identify as horses. Are you sure that they're just not really heavily fascinated with horses because they think they're pretty or something? Or maybe also, another idea, maybe they're furries. Maybe they found out what furries are and they're like, oh, I love horses, so I'll be like a horse furry or something. I mean, like... Oh my god, dude. I love this weird little, like, side jab at furries, dude. I love the Republicans that are now going after furries, bro. It's funny. I really do find it funny. It's like, what the fuck have furries ever do to you freaks? Like, holy shit. Damn. Gotta get the fucking battle, the battle queer furries out, dude. Like, I mean, it's like, holy shit. Really? No, you dumbass. All I do is wait 10 minutes and just spend 15, in the store after. Yeah, pretty much. That's literally how it is. And honestly, it's like barely 15 minutes. Like, the whole process can really honestly last like 20.
And the teachers, they just turned a blind eye and accept it. And so you have to accept them.
What town is that? Where is that school?
That's in Iowa City.
I mean, it's the lie that won't die, right? It's the lie that won't die. It's like that viral Facebook fake news story that blew up, which was being repeated everywhere by weirdos. That, bro, did you know they're putting litter boxes in the classrooms because kids identify as cats? Did you know that, bro? Did you know that? And what you'll notice is, in all of the scenarios where somebody would say that, it would be like a 1 or 2 degrees removed type. Like, I know somebody whose wife said,
who was on a Facebook group that spread around from someone else's wife in the same school district.
It's always like a layer or 2 removed.
4th grader. I'm a horsey. Oh no, she's a furry. Dale, are you sure she's just not, playing pretend? That's furry sympathizers talk, you son of a bitch, you communist. It's done, boy.
Trust the person who said it. So it's always like, I know somebody who knows somebody who talks about these kids identifying as cats, shitting in a litter box in the class. Look, I'm going to need you to be at least the tiniest bit skeptical to get through this life. If something sounds too absurd to be true, maybe it is. Maybe it is. But that lie went...
You know, I'm not even gonna lie, though. I mean, I've heard of people unironically using litter boxes. Not kids in high schools and stuff. I've heard, like... I remember, like, I think on Onion Nuggets, like, it was either TJ or Paul, one of them. I forgot who. You know, I think it might have been Paul, actually, now that I think about it. Like, where he mentions, like, yeah, I did it once, just to see what it'd be like and how it feel. And the answer was, it was uncomfortable and horrible, and I'd never do it again. Like, because, like, they're not meant for people, obviously. Like, I mean, so, like, I mean, it's like, what the fuck, you know? I mean, obviously there can be some, mostly adults out there that are probably like, you know, what would it be like if I was my cat and shat in that thing? Did they do it? Realize it's horrible, and why did they do that? Has Venom done that? Yes, I'm pretty sure Venom has openly admitted doing that multiple times. I think he's one of the few people out there that has actually unironically done it more than once. I'll grant a pass if someone's done it just once, but multiple times, I don't know. Right, where the fuck has he been? Like the other day, he was like, oh, I just gotta realize I'm kind of, like, sexually harassing you a little bit. Sorry, bro. And I'm like, oh, you're fine, but yeah, maybe. But who cares? You're my friend. It's not a big deal, and he hasn't been back since. I hit him up earlier, and he still hasn't responded. It's like, did I somehow unintentionally scare him off or something? Because I have no idea. I like the frame Kyle's on here. It looks like he's busting a fat number. Kyle's just like,
over the place, man. And you had a number of Republican politicians who were saying it as if it was fact. And then you have people who, like, work in the schools and know the facts are like, that is just factually wrong. They'd be like, oops. But it's like, they're so married to the narrative that they want it to be true. They want it to be true so they can be like, haha, look at how stupid and dumb lefties are, and look, kids are identifying as emus or whatever the fuck.
Emus!
It to be true. So that they have
That caught me off guard, bro. Fucking emus, dude. Identify as one of the emus who fought in the fucking Great Australian Emu War. Saying it now, dude.
Oh, man. Jesus Christ.
It's horses. And
Yeah, I gotta hear that again. That was fucking funny, dude.
You could be like, haha, look at how stupid and dumb lefties are, and look, kids are identifying as emus or whatever the fuck.
As emus or whatever the fuck, dude. Oh my god, man. You know, this is why I love Kyle. You can never take the, you know, just the innocence out of Kyle. You just can't.
Oh, man. Jesus Christ.
it's horses. And our principal and the teachers, they just turned a blind eye and accepted it. And
I wish
so
I had a
you
soundboard so I can have like a little horse soundboard.
have to accept them.
What town is that? Where is that school?
That's in Iowa City. Yeah, so it's terrible what's happening.
I was like, yeah, it's happening in this one city that I don't live in, and yeah, I just kind of heard it from the grapevine.
In this country, evangelicals feel this should be a Christian nation, and that's why we have evangelists and pastors and teachers and healers like myself. I'm a missionary and an evangelist.
Oh god, you know, that was like kind of one of the things I had on my bingo card, because I was thinking, how much do you want to bet this guy probably does his kids, and that confirms it for me. I'm just already going to assume this guy's probably done a little bit of a touching here and there. Now we know his favorite possession. Oh, yeah.
I love how he's like, we gotta cut it.
And also, doesn't he realize that this country was founded on secularism? Like, there was literally, like, atheistic and deist founding fathers. There was literally only one clergyman who signed the, fucking documents and shit. Possession. Both work.
All the nonsense that's going on these days. And we need to
he doesn't. Oh, well, of course.
Go back to being a Christian nation. We need to base everything on biblical principles. And it's like, you fucking freak. Do you not understand
you fucking freak.
that the Bible is full of absurd myths and things that make no sense and contradict
and ancestral drunken rape
and rules that are utterly arbitrary. It's an abomination to eat shrimp in the Bible. Should we ban shrimp because you want the Bible
Better not, because that's fucking delicious.
to rule over all of us? Is that what you want? I can't stand when people act like, bro, I'm the truth teller. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. And then in the next sentence, they're like, I love theocracy. Theocracy is like the home of nonsense and stupidity. So you can't posture as against nonsense and stupidity and then be like, let's do the Christian version of Saudi Arabia. I want to be the Christian Taliban.
Well, that's unfortunately it's basically what Christians want in this country, and that's been a long-term fucking project since the 80s. Like, there was honestly, funny enough, a period of time in American history where a lot of these evangelical and Christian types and shit actually kind of eschewed politics and said, "Oh, that's like worldly and manly affairs. We worry about God's affairs, and type of shit." So a lot of them, for the most part, would actually, eschew politics and not really get that involved, or at least, not have their religion be involved in that type of stuff. But it wasn't really until around, really just a little bit before Reagan, but at least especially during Reagan's era, that where a lot of this got heavily influenced directly into politics and directly into the influence of, American culture. And it's something that has been immensely fucking pushed and heavily shoved, to the point where young, dumb fuck, cult freaks like this young guy right here are conditioned and basically beaten into this whole idea because they've pretty much been literally raised into a Christian cult.
Ministry called Alpha Numa Ministries, and
Shocker.
we're doing everything we can to see that
Did he just say Alpha Male New Ministries? What?
I want to be the Christian Taliban.
I pastor a ministry called Alpha Numa Ministries, and
Shocker.
we're doing everything.
I couldn't even tell. Alpha New Ministries? What? It was Alpha Ministries. Like, what did you even... Can you slow down, you crackhead? I know you probably did, a line of coke or two before you fucking, had this interview, but Jesus.
To see that America turns back to God, that America has another great awakening like it did in ancient times past, and that this nation becomes a Christian nation again.
It never was that.
And why go back to ancient days and shit? Because, America wasn't even a thing in the ancient times, bitch. Excuse me? If we want to take America back to the ancient days, we'll be believing, Native American beliefs and shit. What? Which actually would honestly, if we had to take, Christian fascism versus, indigenous American, theocratic state of some sort, I'd take the indigenous American, theocratic state, unironically. At least then it'll be pretty fucking cool. It'll be, cool shit, that, when it comes to, when it comes to, different, ritual practices and stuff like that, I honestly, I'd be alright with that. I'd be fine with that. I'd be like, well, don't believe it, but, fuck it. Why not? This is more fun than being like, praise the Lord, oh Jesus. It's way better than that.
All right, this guy's some sort of pastor or does some ministry thing. Keep your kids away from him, please. Please do that.
Yeah, because he might diddle them. Is there more to him? Oh, shit. There is. Oh, God, there's more? Oh, my God. I didn't expect there to be more. I thought this was it.
All right, I got another one for you.
Oh, my God. Who is this? Who in the fuck? This guy looks like he's he looks like he's about one major stress in his life away from relapsing, dude. Oh my God.
20 seconds to say something to President Biden. If you had him right here and the camera was President Biden.
I can't say what I want to say. I'm sorry.
What's with this?
Can't say what you want to say.
New kind of conservative. There's this new kind of conservative that and I'm sure what's the name of the guy? I don't know the name of the guy. Forgive me, but there's some rapper.
Tom McDonald. I already know what he's talking about.
Just did a rap song with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Where Ben Shapiro does a verse on it. And there's this new, and it's like that Forgiato Blow guy. He's not the one that I'm talking about that did the song with Ben Shapiro, but there's that other MAGA rapper, Forgiato Blow, I think his name is. What is with this new breed of MAGA type person that's like trying to embrace like hip hop culture?
Well, I think a lot of it's because, man, I don't like that damn black culture, but you know what? I do kind of like that hip hop though. The rap does kind of sound kind of good though. But I don't like the culture around it, so I kind of want something for myself. Like, it's basically that. It's like, I kind of like the music, but I hate the culture of these damn blacks, so I want something for us. Like, that's kind of really what it comes down to. It's just, like, basically, like, an element of appropriating different variations and variables of black culture, essentially, and, like, hip-hop and rap culture, broadly. It's just appropriating it.
Getting that vibe from this dude, right? It's like, what's going on here?
That
I wish
convey
they would bring public hangings back. Simple as that. I think they should bring public hangings back and hang people like Joe Biden.
With his eye, dude, I said he's probably one life stressor away from relapsing. Nah, he relapsed already. This guy looks fucking insane, dude. I can't honestly really look at him. Jesus fucking Christ. That guy looks fucking insane. I have an urge to go near my gun locker right now. Like, unironically, like, if I saw that fucker near my house, I would be, like, ready to shoot, bro. Like, oh my lord. Like, that guy looks fucking unhinged. Like, Jesus. It didn't really look like it that much, but as soon as you looked right at the camera of those fucking bug eyes, like, holy shit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I got another one for you. So this one went viral because people were having a field day with this. So ABC News talking to a Trump supporter here, and this is just chef's kiss.
So here's this guy coming down the escalator, a rich guy, married 3 times, pretty foul mouth. What was it and what is it about him?
Has he made mistakes? Oh my goodness, yes. But I do believe that his heart's in the right place for me. How many?
For me. I'm an old white man, he's an old white man. Thus, he's there for me.
Presidents, how many politicians have come out on stage and hugged the American flag?
How many politicians have you seen? Like Donald Trump go up and hug the American flag like a true fucking patriot. Oh my god.
That really means something to me.
You support Trump
Because he hugs a flag. Because he fetishizes a piece of fucking cloth.
2024 because he hugged the American flag and that means something to you.
Bruh.
Guys, I'm trying so hard not to be the world's biggest asshole in response to these people. You have no idea.
Do it. Just do it. Just, at a certain point, you just gotta say, fuck it, all gas, no brakes, baby.
How much I'm holding back in this segment. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this?
Make fun of him and be an asshole?
Is that all it takes? He fucking waves the Bible around in the air and he's like, you idiots love this, right? It's that famous tweet. It's like, you idiots love this slop, don't you? And it's like, yeah, woo, we love you. Wave the Bible around, bro. He's hugging the flag, bro.
I mean, it's basically just like, Lois Griffin being 9/11 and the whole crowd goes fucking wild. And then, there's a rebuttal from, the other politician. And then, they all boo him. And then she simply says, 9/11. Oh, yeah, she's got my fucking voice. That's literally just that in a nutshell, man. Oh my god, man, every now and then Stephen McFarlane always knows how to kind of fucking nail it, because, Jesus Christ, that really is how it is with this shit, dude. like, I mean, these motherfuckers are in a cult. They just are. Like, they're willing to worship, like, this guy like a fucking god because he hugs a fucking flag and waves around the Bible like, you know, he's like some fucking clown with, you know, some sort of a toy in front of a bunch of toddlers.
The next Republican, after Trump, the next big Republican, needs to whip his dick out and jack off on the American flag. And then idiots like this be, oh, nobody loves America more than him, man. Ain't nothing on
the flag, brother. That's right. He's a true fucking patriot. Oh my god.
Hey, man. That's real love right there, man. He wants to marry the flag. What are we doing here? Guys, look. The ultimate conclusion is super simple. And you've heard me say it a million times. But I don't know how much more evidence you want me to give you with all these man-on-the-street interviews. Every single Trump supporter who remains, other than the billionaires who want their tax cuts and their deregulation, every single Trump supporter who remains, it is 100% about the feels. It's all emotions. It's all feelings. It's all, he hits that frequency when he talks that just touches a nerve with these people. It's that old thing Rand Paul said when he ran against Trump in 2015 and 2016.
It's the Lois Griffin meme of 9/11. No! That's basically it. I mean, really, just that. It's just that in a nutshell. And I mean, I really can't be that fucking shocked, honestly. I think it's going to take a while for American politics to really kind of like, you know, just get me shocked. Because as it stands now, it certainly hasn't, you know, shocked me, you know, when it comes to this shit. Not yet. Popeye, what are you doing? Hey, up. Big goof. Goodness gracious. But still little thing. Let's see what other little thing's going on for today. I know that Gauntlet's going on too, but I won't get quite into that yet. Besides, that's a Patreon thing. I'll delve into that in my own time. But man, there's really not that much going on. Blur. Laboo. Oh, wait. Some news from across the pond in Germany. What's going on in Germany? Deutschmal Schweigen vernischt. Something about the AFD. Oh, some shit going on with the AFD.
Thoughts on the
reacts to AFD's remigration plans? Huh? Far-right figures, including members of the AFD party, reportedly met in Potsdam Hotel to discuss a remigration plan, allowing deportation of all people in Germany that have a migration background. What? What? Austrian activist Martin Schellner presented a plan targeting those deemed burdens on society, even including nationalized German citizens. The AfD has previously excluded German citizens from such plans. Germany, you need to clamp down on your Nazi shit again. You did a little bit, but you need to do it some more. I think you need to have another boot. Das Boot? Das Boot too.
The Germans protesting fascism right now after the AfD party was exposed for plotting to expel 2 million ethnics to Africa. Bro, Germany is such a weird place. I don't know how to describe it.
Like, you know, one day they're cracking down on Nazis like the Reichsbürger movement and like arresting a bunch of fucking like, you know, extremists, and then the next day they're like, oh yeah, let's have a mass importation program or deportation program. Yes. It's like, what? It's like, wait, huh?
I got some German chatters in here. I feel like Germany is completely insane.
Migration and the economy are the top of the list of concerns for Germans. That's according to the latest numbers from the polling institute Infratest DMAP. It shows dwindling support for the governing coalition, while the far-right AfD is gaining ground over its stance on migration.
All the warnings have made little difference. Recent polls show that support for the AfD remains firm. 22% of people are ready to vote for it. It's in second place behind the Conservatives and well ahead of the parties in the current coalition.
Left Party link. Which, I don't know what the other... Oh, I know that's the Christian Conservative Party, the Social Democratic Party, Green Party, the Grüne. I don't know what the FDP is. I think they're another conservative party. And then you got the Link Party, which is the left party. And then you got the FW and Andere, which I have no idea who the fuck they are.
Government.
Tens of thousands of people have taken to the streets of the German city of Hamburg to protest against the far right. It follows revelations that members of the Alternative for Germany party held a secret meeting to discuss the mass deportation of immigrants and German citizens of foreign origin.
The streets of Hamburg overflowing with protesters, giving voice to the post-war German promise of never again to right-wing extremism.
I'm actually demonstrating for the first time in my life. I myself find it threatening. I know stories from the Nazi era from my grandfather, and I don't want that to happen again.
Protests erupted after it emerged that Alternative for Germany members and neo-Nazis met to discuss plans to deport millions of people with migrant roots, including German citizens. The party's leadership has tried to distance itself from the so-called master plan.
Master plan? Dude, these guys are just trying to revive Nazism again. They're trying to, take notes from Hungary and Italy right now and are trying to, reestablish, the fucking Axis powers in Europe, essentially. It's like, Jesus Christ, bro.
I don't know how to describe it. It's like it feels like neoliberal fascism is at the Germany's at the tip of the spear on neoliberal fascism. I feel like they're writing the agenda because all things considered, Germany has a massive Muslim migrant population. Germany has a massive migrant population after World War II. They needed to beef up industry, and they brought in Turkish migrant workers. Obviously, Western Germany specifically was not denazified. It was not. It was, as a matter of fact, re-Nazified, specifically by the United States of America and Western powers, because they had a much larger goal at hand, the goal of the eradication of communism, right? A specter is haunting Europe. We must defeat communism. That's the real evil here. And who are the greatest commie killers? Well, the Nazis that we didn't kill. They got a lot of combat experience. And my point is, I think Germany is very strange on that front.
I mean, considering that this is actually kind of true for both the East German National Volksarmy and the Bundeswehr in West Germany. There was different German officers in the Wehrmacht and even in the SS who were essentially granted pardons if they were to kind of help train the new established armies for the two different states, which basically kind of at least re-establish some of the ideology and some of the influence of Nazism that stayed within Germany. And I mean, I know Hassan didn't mention East Germany, but I mean, they're not exactly completely innocent of this either.
Because one, they have one of the higher Muslim refugee populations in Europe. They have a higher Muslim population than other countries in Europe as far as the Turkish diaspora that lives in Germany. And what I find really, really, really strange about this is that in spite of all of that, they have a growing momentum of obviously the AfD and parties such as that are openly fascist. But Turks are more secular. Muslims don't. No, not the Turkish Germans. I think German Turks are becoming increasingly more disillusioned and increasingly more segregated on economic boundaries, and it's causing, I feel like, a lot of German Turks to become more and more reactionary, more and more right wing. You know what it is? German Turks, for some weird reason, turn into like the the fundamentalist like Muslims in the UK. Not every Muslim is like that, obviously, in the UK. But
what are you doing over there, dog?
Them go so aggro. They're like way more reactionary than like the Muslim populations and their attitudes towards like towards Islam in the respective host nations, right? Like their nation's origin. This is something I've criticized quite a bit. I've talked about this quite a bit as far as like German Turks, like Turks in diaspora and how pro Erdogan they are, for example. It's like really annoying. Something that
which if that's the case, wouldn't they just want to like support Erdogan in Turkey or something? I always find that so strange, where it's like, you know, you have someone who's like left the country, but yes, heavily supports the regime of that said country still. It's like, huh? It's like, okay. I mean, I guess probably for, you know, might be other reasons, I'm assuming work or some other shit or whatever, but it's just like, I always found that just interesting. It's like, if you're like leaving, you know, for better opportunities from, you know, to another country, usually wouldn't that be because you have problems with the country that you were originally from?
Back home, hate, right? They do not like that at all. And I don't know. I just like, it's very, I think it stems from like the racism that they experience and the economic hardships that they experience and the class dynamic that exists there that is racialized, of course, just like in America. The class dynamic is racialized heavily between, you know, black and brown populations and the white population. And I feel as though that is part of the reason why people identify with more reactionary attitudes and they get defensive. They posture defensively. And I'm a firm believer in integration. For all of America's faults and failures, like, they do a relatively decent job. This country's done a relatively decent job in immigration. It can do significantly more, of course. But there is
especially considering the border crisis right now, yeah.
We
could be doing way better on that one.
Integration in the United States of America, especially by the third generation, instead of creating economic enclaves that also then feed back into that same cycle of just like despising the rest of the population and the rest of the population despising them, because that's where it's born out of usually. I think that it's just like becoming a dangerous prospect. Having said that, there are no real options. There are no real leftist options. There are no real actual progressive communist socialist alternatives, especially in a place like Germany. I mean, you've seen the German anti-fascist movement. They were like breaking down the doors of a bakery for hosting like a talk for Palestinians and dumping like pig fat. That's what their anti-fascists are doing.
On the anti-Germans are not left this week condemned the racist attack on the bakery in Leipzig. Communistic organization. Racist agitation by self-proclaimed leftists have reached a new peak on Tuesday, October 24, 2023. There was an attack on a bakery, a house project in a left-wing event space in the West Side, but organized people. A container of pork fat was thrown in the rooms. The use of pork fat includes instruments miss mode for attack. Well, it sounds like attack of fascists claimed by self-proclaimed anti-fascists in the same response. Attack came from an announcement. It was defended by anti-Germans on social networks. Man, I mean, it seems like a lot of the racial tensions going on in Germany right now seems to also be kind of like, you know, in a way, almost seems like, you know, just as bad, if not a little worse, you know, when it comes to like a lot of you know, the heightened tensions here in the U.S. I mean, because yeah. These type of, you know, stories, you know, aren't really uncommon, but usually are way done more by the far right. You know, when it comes to like, you know, people that might have like a pride flag outside, you know, their business or bakery or some shit, or like a library and these book bans and things like that. So, I mean, it's like, it's just been growing, like this whole like far right extremist, you know, rise has just been like a growing phenomena for some time. Come on, see what other little things. paper popping here. Here, kind of skip to what's going on here. What was that? What is it?
Anti-Deutsch is the generic name applied to a variety of theoretical and political tendencies within the left in mainly Germany and Austria. The anti-Germans form one of the main camps in the broader Antifa movement alongside the anti-Zionist, anti-imperialists. After two currents split between the 1990s and the early 2000s as a result of their diverging views on Israel. The anti-Germans are a fringe movement within the German left. In 2006, Deutsche Welle estimated the number of anti-Germans to be between 500 and 3,000. The basic standpoint of the anti-Germans includes opposition to German nationalism, a critique of mainstream left anti-capitalist views, which are thought to be simplistic and structurally anti-Semitic. Wait, what? They think anti-capitalism is anti-Semitic? Okay.
Okay, what? That is absurd.
These guys are literally, okay. All right, never mind. That's pretty funny. This is like the classic, yeah, that's full circle. That's full circle, baby. No, that's literally anti-Semitic. Saying anti-capitalism is inherently anti-Semitic is an anti-Semitic statement. Why? Because you're automatically saying, oh, you mean bankers? Yeah, that's right. You mean Jews. Which is an insane thing to say because it's...
I love that's what I love about, like, you know, oh, a critique of something is actually anti-Semitic there, bro. It's like, what? I mean, that says more about you, bitch. Like, you're the one who thinks that. Like, I mean, if you think, you know, being, you know, critical of capitalism or, like, banks and things like that means, oh, well, obviously you meant the Jews there, bitch. It's like, no. No, I didn't. And if you're the one implying that, that's your anti-Semitic ass saying that shit. It's like, what?
Inherently the exact opposite of what anti-capitalists are saying. I love this, dude. I love these guys. They're awesome. Hey, man, that Geiger counter is coming in handy again. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Oh, shit. The Hitler particles. It's really going off now.
Hitler particles going crazy, dude. Hitler particles detected again.
I love it. Does he actually have a Geiger counter, like, soundboard? Because that's fucking awesome.
Funny for Germans to say that.
Man, yeah, Germany seems like they're going for some kind of weird, wacky shit. I mean, yeah, like, man, did those two world wars just, like, break them? Like, did they get just, like, broken? Like, because, I mean, what the hell? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing over there? I mean, they need to kind of, like, you know, chill out with some of the Hitler particles and shit. And also, like, they, you know, like, this whole, like, rise of the AFD shit is definitely, like, a major problem. And, like, I kind of hope that their German government at least starts cracking down on that type of shit. It's at least good there's a lot of people protesting it, too. Because, hey, Zukov. What the fuck? Hey, dude. Seriously? Hey, buddy. Shut up. Hey, fuck. Dude. Come on. Oh my god. Bro. Dude, I mean, you can't be serious. Oh. Ay. Fulton, yay. What a silly little mutt. What a ridiculous little mutt. You're ridiculous, dude. Just giving him a look because I know he's probably going to boof again. Motherfucker's going to just pop off. Big goober. He's just looking at, like, my gun safe for some reason. Like, he's ready to, like, bark at it for some reason. I mean, seriously? I mean, are we for real, dog? He's starting to kind of roll his eyes out, so I think he got out of the system, which finally, good. Aye. He's a silly little mutt. He'd be nothing but a silly boy. Nothing but a silly boy. I tell you what. Your big ball smush. You're just the most goofiest little thing. Oh my lord. He's looking like a little sphinx. He's just like... He's just the most handsomest, sweetest little doge. The sweetest of doges. Get a little stretch going. Actually, I need to kind of figure out a little something for lunch for today. Don't know what to have. And I need to kind of re-up on my tea because, unfortunately, a little low. I need to re-up on that shit. Need to re-up on the tea and all that fun stuff. At least got my little new season email thing taken care of, so hopefully I'll hear a response back and figure out a time and all that, you know, when it comes to doing the interview and all that shit. So hopefully that'll be good and positive and fun little time. I know it's at Revolution Hall, which I've been to before, so it's at least I know how to get there, so that ain't gonna be a big deal. It's just more or less I just hope it's not like too early in the morning. If it's at like 8 a.m., I'm just gonna be like, oh fuck. I might unironically just stay up all night, you know, for that and just drink a bunch of coffee. Because, oh hell no. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to get up early enough for that shit. But, get this bowl loaded. At least in the meantime, I pretty much just don't really have too much to do for the day outside. Just like deal with some groceries and kind of clean the house a little bit. Tidied up the backyard a little, you know, moving the doggo house, which this dog does not apparently ever appreciate. Lazy little bones. Also kind of want to like snoop around some of the scrap wood and see like, you know, what's available, because I want to kind of like make like a little blueprint of like a little platform, you know, that I can use, or like a little house that I can make for the squirrels or some shit. Kind of put in between my trees. Oh, come on. Fucking bowl. Not one to stay all together. Boo. There we go. You I'll have to get some food. So, I'll be yourself for now, and I'll see y'all in the next one. So,